There you are. Welcome. It's a beautiful day today, as you can see. Today, we'll be talking about a piece of material very close to my dear, dear heart. Oh. Terribly sorry. I guess I failed to introduce myself. I'm Ernest author and proprietor Gonzo News with a doctorate in gonzology. So it goes without saying that I know my stuff. Hold on, is this shit working? Is it recording? Alright. Wonderful. No, this is definitely not a different day. More than a week later than my previous recording. That's definitely not what's going on here. Anyway. Oh. What was I talking about again? Oh, right. Serial Experiments Lain. Gonzo Experiments Videodrome. Wait, no. The first one. I finished it just last night. I'm still writing off that delicious hangover. I love coming to school, not drunk, but hungover after drinking the previous night. Very good way of passing it. Anyway. I loathe anime. Fear and loathe it, in fact. It's all for pedophiles, rapists, misogynists, and the Japanese. Right. But do not think I am prejudiced. I am, though, of course. I just don't want to deal with the consequences of being so. But Serial Experiments Lain is about a little incel. I mean, Tomagachi, or whatever the word is over there for antisocial shut-in, is also quite possibly autistic. And near the end, there's a wonderful burgeoning bromance with she and her friend, which ends horribly because she would rather delete the fucking internet than actually make amends with her friend like a normal fucking human being. And if that's not the most autistic ass shit you've seen, then you clearly haven't been diagnosed for a long, long time. You should get that checked in. The show itself is not the most coherent that can be said about most animes, which I do not enjoy, except for this one. This one is good, and it's not like the rest of them, because even though it is about a pretentious little gutter snipe that gasps so much that you'd imagine they're in need of an inhaler, it's still very charming, relatable, existential, and all that good shit. But the show's about. At the beginning of the show, you might think it is a rather surprisingly gifted 8th grader whose life becomes an obsessive, perhaps hyperfixation on what is called the Wired, which is perhaps a tool, perhaps a new dimension, or maybe it's heaven, or whatever, because people certainly do like killing themselves to get in. Personally, I don't know what those folks find in heaven. Or perhaps Protestant heaven. I could go to Protestant heaven. That sounds like a hell of a good time. When I give up alcohol or homosexuality for it? Hell no! I not a fucking masochist. But I am a misogynist. Is that good enough? Anyway, back to the show. What I can remember of it. It's about this kid. Or maybe an android, or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't matter. It does a whole Evangelion ego death thing or whatever at the end. But I think it does it better because this is my favorite show and it's alternative, so shut the fuck up. Yes. I can relate to the character more. She's not a little slut saying like Shinji Pierogi or whatever his name is. You know what? You know what I did for that show? Since the site I was watching it on wouldn't let me see the last couple of episodes, I spoiled it for myself. That's what I did. So suck it, weeaboos. So anyway, back to the plot. Is there a plot to Serial Experiments, Lain? Could be about trying to discover human connection in an increasingly online world. I think it's very relatable for members of my generation. And there's the relationship that Lain has with her quote-unquote father, who turns out to be a robot sent by a secret government agency to take care of her and to raise her without the ever debilitating case of the daddy issues. Where he says, "You're human, Lain, I'm not. You can do all this shit because you have free will and fucking stuff." And I thought, well, that kind of sounds like my dad, because he's always in my basement working on his goddamn computer. He didn't get his autism diagnosis till his fucking 50s. No wonder he feels like a tool. Both my parents are depressed. It's great. It's wonderful. I've learned so much about the human experience. In fact, before I became an adult, I was basically an adult living in a child's snotty body, and I couldn't make any fucking friends. Just like Lain, maybe. I don't know. She had friends. Maybe they were assigned to her. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they actually liked her. Sorry ass. Why would anyone fucking like her? She's incredibly pretentious, not emotive. She's boring as hell. Honestly, she kind of sounds a lot like Daria. No. Daria is my favorite anime. It's so fucking good. I don't know. Is it as good as the Boondocks? I feel like the Daria went on for 5 seasons when the Boondocks went only on for 3. There's no 4th season of the Boondocks. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, I feel Lain's pain. I really do. Because all my friends have fucking ghosted me, and I can't make friends. Oh, perhaps I have the opposite problem, actually. I can't make friends on the internet. Lain obviously could. Made tons of friends, even though the way she interacted with them, she didn't really. Perhaps the case the show made was not apropos for our modern times. Because I believe many people can make it online friends very profitably. They make tons of friends. They can have entire long-distance relationships with people they've never met in person. Was that a lack of imagination on the showrunner's part? What is it about the fucking aliens in Roswell in that random clip in episode 8? Do I know? Are the aliens a metaphor? About the conspiracy guy? What happened to the Knights? Should we really interpret the events of the show literally? Or is it an annihilation thing where people think, oh my god, they're going to have the fucking alien baby? They're not going to have an alien baby, folks. At least I hope not. I don't think it's that kind of Japanese cartoon show. Goodness. Ugh. I'm clearly disgusted by my own mutating, rotting human body. Just like Lain. Oh my goodness gracious. So, what can we gather out of all of this fucked up mess? Can anything be gathered? the events of the show to be... Actually, I'm not sure what I'm going with this. You see, I don't really go into these Gonzo studies without a script. Or with a script. Yes. I find my flow to be better with that one. Or rather, I find I don't do any work at all with that one. With one. God. What am I even talking about? Go watch it. It's 13 fucking episodes. Just watch that shit, alright? Then come back and post memes about Cheerios and Mountain Dew and shit. Well, thank me later.
Of some decay.
Well, that's what I believe. I've spent a good deal of time in cities, in a number of countries, and they're all the same. Cities are basically dehumanizing. Cities are basically bestial. They turn people into animals. There's very little joy, very little light, very little love.